Good morning, everyone. My name is Roger Wakimoto, and I'm the director of the National Center for Atmospheric Research, and we call that NCAR, and I'm just so glad to been asked to be your MC this morning. And of course, I have to say, welcome to the great state of Wyoming. When we started working together, I did do a little bit of research about Wyoming, and I guess I was heartened to hear you called also the equality state because of the fact that women's rights to vote were first here in 1869. So you're incredibly progressive, much more than I thought you were. I'm just being honest. And I do mean that in a good way. The weather. I need to talk about the weather for a second. When we first entered this partnership, people pulled me aside and they said, you know, the weather in Cheyenne could be really brutal. And all I can say is every single time we've had a major event up here, the weather has been like this, absolutely gorgeous. And so I don't know whether it's been because we have provided you with great forecasts in picking these dates. The other option is it's been an urban legend, and in fact, you guys have tremendous weather up here. This is truly a public-private sector success story, and I think you all know that, but I want to highlight two aspects of the success. One is these are all difficult budgetary times. I think you all know that. And I think it's true that we just can't do things alone anymore. And so you have to pick an effective partner if you want to get something like this to happen, and I think we did find effective partners that worked very well. The second thing I want to highlight, though, is surely there were professional and business relationships that we forged that were important for this NWSC. But I cherish the friendships that we all forged because this is going to last well beyond the 20 years of this facility and is the most important thing I take back when I go back to Boulder. I can honestly say I stand here before you in absolute awe about what we're about ready to unveil today. In fact, some of you will remember the date, June 18th, 2010, and let me hark back to the weather again. Before June 18th, it poured, it poured, it poured. This field was muddy, people were fretting. And then on June 18th, like the parting of the seas, the sun came out. It was absolutely a gorgeous day when we broke ground on this facility. Again, another example of how the weather has cooperated every single major event that we've had. I want to highlight another thing to remind all of you here that this facility was delivered on time and under budget, which is a very, very rare event. And supercomputing centers and data centers, it's just a fact of life. By their very natures, are very energy inefficient. And so it really means a lot that this has achieved LEED Gold certification. And lastly, it's heartened me that agencies, other groups have contacted me. I know I've contacted Al Kelly and other people, all wanting to visit the center because, quote unquote, they've heard that we did it right. Shortly, I'm going to be able to welcome the Governor Mead to the podium, but before I do want to extend some congratulations and acknowledgments to a few people that have made this such a success story. This includes the National Science Foundation. I know we have a group of people here from the Science Foundation. Former Wyoming Governor Dave Fruetenthal in the state of Wyoming legislature. The University of Wyoming, our really great neighbors down the street. Former NCAR Director Eric Barron, my predecessor, is here. Came from Florida. I'm so glad that he was able to make it here. Cheyenne Leads. And there will be a few people I need to acknowledge, and when I stop here at Cheyenne Leads, it's because I do have to acknowledge Randy Bruns, who is the CEO of Cheyenne Leads. Randy, you're right there. The Wyoming Business Council, the Cheyenne Light, Fuel, and Power, and the UCAR Board of Trustees. Of course, I also have to acknowledge current and former UCAR and NCAR staff who have worked on this project, and there are two groups in particular. Again, I'm going to list a few names, but one of the groups is the Computational and Information Systems Lab, our CISL, this has been their project. And the three people I think that absolutely deserve a lot of credit are Krista Larson, our project manager. Where are you, Krista? here somewhere. There you are. And Gary New and Aaron Anderson. I know you guys are around here too, right? There you are. And I also want to acknowledge our UCAR Finance and Administration, who they're in the background, making sure that everything goes smoothly. And I want to acknowledge Jeff Reeves. Jeff, you're right there. And Amy Smith. Where are you, Amy? I saw you earlier. There you are.